All right, FOJ 54. What's up, Jason?
Jeff, how are you?
I'm tired. I'm annoyed. But other than that, it's fine. Just first world problems, man.
Yeah, I kind of got the impression that you were extremely frustrated yesterday, and rightfully so. And so let's get into it.
Yeah. So it is November 10th. It is Monday, 7:37 p.m. Eastern time for me. Yesterday was Sunday, the 9th. I left my house at 1:30 p.m. Eastern time, got to the airport around 2. And I'm on my way to Orlando. So I'm currently in Orlando now. I did not make it to Orlando yesterday.
Yeah.
I sat in the airport for 6 hours, I think, in Asheville, with one of those days where it was like, okay, delay. And so yesterday was just an absolute shit show across the United States for air travel. Like 3,000 canceled flights. The whole air traffic controller thing was a mess. And once you start canceling certain flights, then it becomes cascading effect throughout. There was weather in certain areas as well. But yesterday was just a complete shit show. So I was supposed to leave Asheville and get to Orlando about 8:30 p.m. yesterday. I left Asheville at about 9 p.m.
Oh, man.
Get to, where did I get to? I went to Atlanta. I'm like, wait, where have I been? Went to Atlanta, which is my hub. Went from there. At that point, I'd missed, the flights. Like, all right, that's fine. I knew that. In Asheville, all right, I'll just sleep in Atlanta tonight and then get a flight out today. So, working through all that, that's fine. Like, this has happened before. It's when you travel as much as I do, it's like, okay, you're just kind of ready for anything.
Sure.
I was not ready, though, for the just sheer incompetence of Delta gate agents at rebooking.
Ooh.
So the app is just a shit show as well. Like, the Delta app sucks. It's constantly logging you out. It doesn't show the right information sometimes. Yesterday was probably like too much strain for the servers because it just kept showing wrong information, no information, like where your boarding pass is, like all that stuff. And so I'm sitting in the airport. I'm like, okay, I'm watching it, and like it was already just a mess because of the delays and stuff like that. And because Delta will automatically rebook you if you're going to miss your connections, which is fine. That's like, I guess what they should be doing. But as soon as I got the first like inkling, okay, this is going to be a delay, I'm like, all right, I know I'm not going to make my flight. So let me get switched to a later one. That was fine. Turns out that one was not fine either because it was like a 5-hour, 6-hour delay versus like a 3-hour delay. So I'm standing in line at this point because the phone lines are not doing anything. Stand in line for about half an hour, waiting to talk to a gate agent. I'm like, all right, just at this point, I'll just get to Atlanta tonight and then I'll go to Orlando tomorrow because the whole reason I'm here is to do this Special Olympics charity thing.
Yeah.
And so I missed that today. I'll be doing that tomorrow. And so I'm standing in line. I'm like, all right, just, whenever we get to Atlanta, that's fine. I'll stay there overnight and then just book me on a connecting flight today, meaning Monday at like noon or whatever, or 1, and I'll get to Orlando like 2:30 or 3. I'm like, that's fine. I was like, okay, that sounds good. And then it's like, all right, I also don't have a boarding pass for this flight that I'm supposed to be on. The app is just not showing anything at this point. Like, okay, so I also need a boarding pass for this flight to get on. So, okay. And she's like, all right, I got you. You're in here, blah, blah, blah. And then she gives me an itinerary pass, which it's one of those things where it's like it looks like a boarding pass, but just shows you your itinerary.
Yeah.
And it has, my flight from Asheville to Atlanta. And then it has the flight I was supposed to be on that I'm definitely not going to make because it like boards at the same time I land. Like, that's not going to happen. And then the new flight, which is at this point tomorrow. So it was like Sunday and then the tomorrow flight. Like, okay. And she's like, I'm like, this isn't a boarding pass. She's like, don't worry about it. I was like, you'll scan that and then you'll be able to get on the flight. And I'm like, that's the first time I've not heard that one. I'm like, all right, we'll see. So
yeah, I'll believe it when I see it.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, I'm like, that doesn't sound right. But at this point, it's been 6 hours in the airport. Like, I'm like, whatever. So finally, our flight is getting ready to board. The whole reason we were delayed yesterday was not because of weather. It was not because of air traffic control, not directly. It was because we didn't have enough flight attendants for our flight. So the plan was to get an extra flight attendant onto a flight from Atlanta to Asheville on another flight that would then be on our flight to do whatever. And apparently that didn't work out because those flights were all delayed coming in. And so just, like I said, it just turned into like this whole mess yesterday. Finally, though, we go to board and I'm group 2 because I'm special, because I have status, blah, blah, blah. No matter where I sit, I'm always like towards the front of board. So I go to board and I go to scan the thing. She's like, that's an itinerary. I'm like, right. This is what you gave me and said to scan later. So we can't board them. Like, you gave this to me.
Right.
All right, well, stand over here. I need to fix your ticket. And I'm like annoyed as well because I had my bag and a carry-on. I'm like, the whole point of boarding on early is so that you get your carry-on and you don't have to worry about anything else, right? You're good to go. So at this point, she boards the entire plane. And meanwhile, there are probably like 10 or 12 people that all have the exact same problem. She's like, oh, your pass is working either. Go stand over there. And once I get everybody ordered, then I'll fix your tickets. So this was just a total mess already. Being like, all right, so like I'm not getting on, like can't get on a flight and just waiting until everything's gone. At this point, overhead space is gone, like whatever. So then apparently the gate agents at Asheville Airport have almost no power to do anything for your flight. So she's on the phone with Delta, like support, calling, trying to do that. Now, she was managing 2 phone calls to Delta at the same time and helping 2 of us at the same time. Doing the exact same thing. So like, all right, well, that's kind of impressive, carrying like 2 conversations that she had, like one on her cell phone and then one on like the desk phone there. And it's like, all right, blah, blah, blah. Mine was apparently easier to fix than this other person because they had removed me from the flight, which like, I'm here. You like, you're the one who set this up. Like, all right, it's like whatever. At this point, it's like, just get me on the flight because I'd already changed my hotel, I'd already changed my rental car, like done everything, blah, blah. So I'm standing there waiting to her to fix my ticket. And then another new thing happened in my, 10 years now of doing a lot of travel.
Sure.
A elderly woman, I want to say 60s, maybe early 70s, comes back up the boarding ramp of the airport, like back through, like you go into the door and then you're down. So Asheville Airport is under construction right now. And so it doesn't have like the long gates. Like you walk down the jet ramp. It's you go outside, down like a bunch of ramps, and then down onto like the tarmac. And then down. Blah, blah, blah. So it's kind of a mess anyway. So this elderly woman comes back through the boarding doors. And people are like, what the fuck? And she's like panting and like she's having a heart attack or something. Like she's all like, and she was like saying something like couldn't understand what she was saying. I was like, and she like just walks off like out of the boarding area and like, ma'am, like where you go? Like the gate is like, ma'am, like what do you like? What's going on? I was like, oh, I was like, we need to deplane you. You can't just walk. I was, I can't find my purse. I can't find my purse. I left my purse.
Oh, geez.
And so she's like freaking out over her purse and acting like she's the first person that ever left anything in the airport.
Sure.
And she's like, what flight were you on? And there were 2 flights to Atlanta boarding at the exact same time from Delta, from gates right next to each other. Like, this is how much of a shit show it was yesterday for us.
Oh,
like,
my God.
Literally at the same time. And so we're like, which flight did she come from? Because both the gates board basically in the same spot. And so she comes up, she's like, she's freaking out, man. So she walks down a little ways, gets her purse, and then like comes back. And then she just goes to like past security, like, oh, I'm already like, I could just get on a plane because I've already done this. I'm like, whoa, like everybody's like, hold on, like what is going on? Like trying to figure out, like, I've never seen that happen on a flight. And so it was emblematic of just the shit show that it was at the Asheville Airport yesterday because of Delta shenanigans. So I'm like, okay, all right, go ahead. I see you have something that you want to get in.
Well, my question is, would you give the dumbass of the week to the airline, the airport, or the lady who lost her purse?
I don't think so I can tell you it's not the airport. Asheville Airport is usually really easy, and it's under construction. Like, what are you going to do? Can't do anything about that.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say that I am happy to award a plethora of dumbasses of the week this week.
I figured.
Did you say plethora? Yes, I did say plethora. Yes, definitely that woman. Yes. Again, you are not special when you travel. There is security protocols for a reason to keep us all safe. You are not special. Follow the fucking rules. It's not that hard. Okay. So definitely that woman gets it. Definitely Delta, because they fucked up my entire rebooking thing, took me off the flight, put me on 3 different flights. At one point, I had 3 different flights from Atlanta to Orlando on my itinerary. So, wow. And when I boarded my flight from Atlanta, or from Asheville to Atlanta, I still had 3 flights on my itinerary. As this place is, I can just get to fucking Atlanta, and I'll figure it out from there. Like, it's fine, right?
Yeah, right.
And so I go to say, all right, my flight, my ticket's fixed. And she's like, okay, you can board. First of all, she's calling me Nathan. And she's like looking at me like I'm an idiot. Like, why aren't you boarding, Nathan? Like, my name's not fucking Nathan.
You're like, I'm a regular here. I'm surprised you don't even know.
That's not my name.
Know me.
I'm like, did you just screw up my flight, someone else's flight now? Did you, whoever Nathan is, did you mess that one up? It was like, I was looking at the wrong name. Yeah. It's like, okay, you get it. And then so I have my little carry-on, and it totally fits. It's like, it's not like a big thing. But she immediately says, we're going to have to check that. I'm like, okay, but I'm not going to Orlando tonight, so I need my bag tonight.
Right.
So she's like, okay, that's fine. We'll check it, and then you pick it up. I should have fucking known. And I did. Because I'm like, I don't trust anything that's coming out of Delta at this point. Just get me in the plane. So I go down the ramp, and I decide, I'm like, okay, I know how this is going to end up. My bag is going to end up either stuck somewhere, or it's going to be in Orlando tonight. Yes. And I'm not. Of course, that's what fucking happened, is my bag went to Orlando, because when I landed, they had rebooked me on a new flight that appeared at like 11 p.m. Because the 11 p.m. flight, I landed about 10, I want to say, roughly p.m. in Atlanta. Okay. And there was a flight leaving at 11, because that flight was 3 hours delayed. Sure. It's like, so they had put me on that. I was like, well, I don't even care at this point. Like, I'm not going to make it. So I'm just going to stay in Atlanta. I'd already changed all my rentals and my, whatever, like just whatever. It's fine. And I started looking at my bag ticket. I was like, okay, you can track your bag, which is great. Like, okay, it's on the plane. That's good for me. So it's with me to from Asheville to Atlanta. I land. I'm like, okay, like this was the moment of truth. I was like, all right, where's my bag going to end up? Yeah. Because what they should, like, what the itinerary said was, Jeff is going to Orlando tonight. And of course, that's where my bag went, to Orlando. Yes. That's nice. But before I got on the plane in Asheville, I opened up my suitcase, took out the battery. Nobody cared about the battery in the bag and going into the hole, which you're not supposed to do, but I'm sure a lot of people do. But I also took my toiletries out. So I had basically like my toiletries and things. So I'm like, all right, I know how this scenario plays out. So like, at least I'll stay over and I'll have, stuff with me to get freshened up. Yeah. And so, of course I land, I see the plane. I see in the app, my bag has been scanned. It's on our way to Orlando. I'm like, okay, whatever. Get to hotel, Marriott in Atlanta, stay the night. That's fine. I call Delta support at that point. It's probably like, I don't know, 11:30 last night. I was like, all right. I don't remember the person's name. I was like, all right, here's what's going on. Can you double check my itinerary just to make sure everything's set up? Sure enough, they had screwed that up. I was like, all right. I have all these flights to from Atlanta to Orlando. I only need one flight. So let's just make sure we get all that taken care of. They got everything they could do. The only thing they couldn't do was give me a seat assignment, because if you're within 24 hours of the plane taking off, the seat assignment control goes to the gate agent. And so the gate agent controls where you sit. So all I had is just I have a boarding pass, just a seat assignment. Like, all right, that's fine. And so my luggage has landed at this point in Orlando, and it's on a badge carousel somewhere, and then it's going into the office. I'm like, all right, that's fine, like whatever. So I get to Orlando today. Mm-hmm. Relatively smooth sailing. First world problem. I had to sit in the middle seat. That sucks. Here's another bone. I'm gonna give 1.5 more dumbasses of the week. Okay. Another dumbass to the jerk ass sitting to my left. When you sit in the middle seat, both armrests are yours by right. When you're in a window seat, you have the window and that armrest. And when you're an aisle seat, you have the armrests to the aisle.
On the aisle.
Because you're stuck in a middle seat. There's nowhere for you to go. And so the etiquette is that by default, you have kind of both armrests. Or at least
because one could lean, because one could lean left and one could lean right. And you can't.
Exactly. I can't. Where am I going to go? So asshole sitting next to me constantly, or we're passive aggressively fighting over the armrest. It's only an hour and a half fight, but this one's like, oh, the fucking arm. I was like, all right. It's like, all right, so that one. And then the guy next to me was occasionally doing it, but he was much better about it. I just thought about this when I was thinking, it was like, by the way, I'm pretty sure he was cheating on his wife or significant other, because he was getting texts from another person who was not fully clothed.
Whoa!
In some of these pictures, like, okay, you probably want to have a privacy screen on your phone if you're going to be doing that. And I was like, and you're sitting next to each other, you can't help but see what people are doing. And it was like, and I did a double take. Like, yeah, those are those. Okay.
Wow.
So yeah, it's been a real 24 hours plus. But now I'm in Orlando. My bag was waiting for me at the carousel with a whole bunch of other bags that apparently made the trip also. Sure. And now I'm sitting here, and I got Portillo's for dinner.
Excellent.
So that's good. Got my chocolate cake. And
hot dog onion only.
Yep.
Cheese
$2
fries?
combo, cheese fries, and
chocolate cake.
Yeah. And now I'm sitting here, and I have a charity thing all day tomorrow, and then I'm driving from Orlando down to Fort Lauderdale for some more work later this week.
Oh, that's right.
So that's my very long 15-minute story of what a shit show air travel was yesterday.
Wow. That's quite the odyssey.
I will say that's probably the worst travel experience I've had in a very long time.
Yeah. Wow.
And it would have been fine. I've been stuck in New York because of hurricanes. I've been through weather. Things happen. What I can't stand is multiple instances of ineptitude.
Yeah, bad logistics or
just
bad.
Get me on, this is not rocket science.
Yeah,
I'm here. Get me on the plane. Make sure my itinerary is correct. I was very clear, and just is what it is. So first world problems. Everything's fine, but yesterday was just show. Now I will say, yesterday I was in the airport watching the Bears game, and I know we're going to talk about Bears, but I'm sure at this point you've probably seen that commercial where they're watching like NFL Plus or something in the airport. And like, oh, a flight is delayed. And the going guy's like, yes.
Yes.
And he's like, why are you feeling delayed? He's like, because I was able to watch the entire Bears game and then some in the Asheville airport. And man, what a way to pass 3 hours.
Yeah, you got the full range of emotion in that game. I mean, you got, oh my God, there was disappointment, there was frustration, there was a bunch of holy shit moments, and then it turned around, and then you got, redemption, and you got, this is what it's supposed to look like, and all that stuff. There was luck. There was all kinds of good stuff that happened at the end. So yeah, bunch to sift through here.
Yeah. So that was my day. How was your day? How was your weekend?
God, my weekend was fairly uneventful. Not nearly as eventful as that. It was full of, let's see, little college football. I cleaned out my garage. So Gwig's Details has moved inside and is now up and running in my garage. We did a car, I shouldn't say we, I should say the owner of Gwig's Details, is my son. He did a car in there on Saturday and worked out great. Was able to detail the entire inside and while it was raining outside. So yeah, I got it all done, and I think we'll have a working shop throughout the winter. So we'll see how many cars he can get, but it's ready to go. So that was exciting. And then let's see. Yeah, Saturday night, I went over to a friend of my wife's house whose daughter got married and they had this like informal reception. And I was asked by my wife to go to this thing. I did not want to go. And when I got there, I confirmed why I did not want to go. Just sitting there listening to these women just blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, finally, after about 2.5 hours, granted, they did cater Portillo's. So I had Italian beef. I had their pasta. I had their pasta salad. All that stuff. That was good. A couple drinks or whatever. But after about 2.5 hours, I'm like, it's time to go. And I gave Michelle the look, like, let's go. And she finally says, oh, are you ready? And I'm like, I was ready 15 minutes after I got here. But yeah,
I was ready 2 hours before I arrived.
Yeah, pretty much. So we got through that and then got up yesterday, watched a little bit of the game in the morning. It was a game, whatever. And then the Bears game happened. And that was a stressor, man. That game was a lot more difficult than I felt it should have been.
No shit. Yeah.
Ultimately, I think the main reason they won is because Jackson Dart got hurt. That kind of stopped the bleeding, because I'll tell you what, they had a difficult time stopping him.
Yeah, it was not the game that everyone was hoping for from the Bears, especially considering how bad the rush defense is for the Giants.
Yes.
Now, numbers-wise, the Bears ran very well. 28 carries, 171 yards, and 2 touchdowns as a team. Almost identical to New York's rushing, which was 30 carries for 169 yards and 2 touchdowns. So a difference of 2 carries and 2 yards, between two teams. There were no real long breakaways. 29-yard run and 24-yard run were the kind of 2 longs of both teams. But yeah, it seemed like, for whatever reason, Brian Daboll was coaching for his job, which as of today, he doesn't have one.
Ultimately, he failed.
Right. But I think when Jackson got hurt, obviously I think that throws away the game plan to some degree. Russell Wilson just didn't look good either. Now, I don't know if that's because he wasn't prepared or if he's just getting old, or, he came in, he was like 3 of 7, 45 yards. He got sacked twice. Like, it just wasn't a good performance by him. But it was, another game where the Bears just figured it out and pulled their ass together at the right minute to win it. Well, and I thought Caleb Williams was great. There were so many drops, dude, in that. I think we were texting each other at one point. It was like so many drops by the team.
Yeah. Well, it's Wilson. When he came in, he did take him down the field on his first drive, but I think they stalled out at the 1, and then what is it? Daboll failed to decline a penalty or something like that, where he could have had an extra shot at the end zone and didn't take it, which I thought was a weird decision, they were at the if 1. I remember right. Yeah.
They were at the 1, could have gone to the half-yard line. It was fourth down regardless. And I think it was Greg Olson was really tearing into Daboll about, why are you kicking a field goal here? You have a chance to go up, put a touchdown. The worst thing that happens is you get stopped, and now you're forcing the Bears to go 99 yards.
Line.
Right. So I kind of question that whole decision making, but hey, I'll take it as a Bears fan.
Oh, definitely. But then I thought, okay, are we going to see the old Russell Wilson, or are we going to see just old Russell Wilson? And we got old Russell Wilson, so that was good. But yeah, the Bears offense. I mean, look, we know Caleb takes a brunt of the blame when things go wrong, and a lot of times it's warranted. I was debating back and forth with one of my coworkers today, where Caleb Williams is kind of at, and we'll get to that in a second. But God, the drops, holy crap, man. I mean, you totally supported your Zacchaeus point from our last episode, man. He's bad. He had been okay up to that point, but he sucks. Yeah. He had a drop. I think Odunze had another drop. Zacchaeus had multiple drops, I think.
Yeah. And big ones too. Like, wide open would have been move the sticks drops.
Monungai had a drop. Swift had a drop. One went right through DJ's hands. Granted, I think it was a Caleb Williams screen pass, which doubled as a 90-mile-an-hour fastball that I don't know if anybody could have caught.
But I hate that play so much.
I know.
And that could have been a disaster, too, because when it went off of Moore's hands, it was a playable ball for that DB who was coming up. And
for sure,
you're not expecting it coming in that quickly and kind of off the side of it. But again, a dangerous, what if that ball had, bounced in a way where the DB could just picked up, that's a pick six right there.
Right. Oh, easy. Well, that's
I just hate that play so much. That stupid wide receiver screen bubble.
That's where he's got to develop a little touch. And instead of trying to throw it through the guy, just dump it over him, and I think that would have been a lot easier. Although I don't know if Moore would have been blown up right away if he makes that catch. But what was good, so I think there were like six actual drops in the game. That's what I think one of the stations reported today. So that would have put Caleb at 26 for 36. He probably would have gone over 300 yards. He still threw for 220. Still threw for a touchdown. I think there was a drop in the end zone. So he would have had 2 touchdown passes. But the interesting thing is between Colston Loveland and Luther Burden, the 2 rookies, 7 targets, 7 catches, 106 yards. So your rookies came through big.
They did, but Kmet didn't have much of a impact on this game. He had 1 catch for 5 yards. But Odunze and Loveland, nice. Again, I don't like the drops on Odunze, but he's turning into a volume receiver.
For sure. Burden, again, 3 catches, 3 targets, 51 yards. I want more.
And some nice run after the catch where he's dragging some people with him. Like I don't think of him as a power player, but another one, he was falling forward and breaking, some tackles.
Yes. And Colston, I think it was the play right before the touchdown, the last catch he made on that last drive. Again, the throw was behind him, and we'll get to Caleb in a second, but throws behind him. He reaches back, twists his body, grabs it with his fingertips, pulls it in. And that was the play of the game, honestly, to keep that drive going. And then, Caleb, ran to the end zone, I think, on the very next play. But so Caleb, I've decided, I mean, when it's on the line, he's the man. I mean, he's got 4 fourth quarter comebacks this year so far, which is tied for the league lead with Bo Nix and Baker Mayfield. Okay. So 4 of their 6 wins are come from behind in the fourth quarter. Caleb takes them down the field, which is great. I want to see fourth quarter Caleb in the first, second, and third quarter. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I be that guy to start the game. Be that guy in the middle of the game. And I'm not saying it's got to be perfect, but he could get his completion percentage is like 60.8 right now, 60.8. If he could get it to 65, if he could get it to 67, God, would that make a world of difference? And I know some of it is the drops, but a lot of it is him too. It's like he's got to get more accurate. I don't know if he can get there, but he's got to somehow figure it out that just take a normal 5-step drop and just deliver the ball where it's supposed to go.
Yeah, it's too much improvisation, I think, still. And I don't know if it's just if it's the receivers not, breaking clean on routes and getting open, if it's him not reading it, but you still see him do a lot of pirouetting at the backfield, yes, around defensive linemen who are trying to get to him. Look, it's great that we have 4 fourth quarter comebacks this year. I'd sure like to not have to come back every game in the fourth quarter. Like that, I totally get your point about, let's see some action where you're not having to dig out from 3 quarters of shit show. Shit show, apparently the word of the day for me. So I'm probably going to use it prolifically.
I like
but I'm
shit
with
show.
you.
I've always enjoyed the word shit show.
Yeah, I think it's adequate. I think I mentioned it to Delta last night. Yeah, the airport was a shit show as well. So yeah, I would love to see. I'm not sure what I would like to see at this point, because last year we were like, all right, you throw the ball downfield, the interceptions, trust your receivers. But I was assuming that the accuracy would be there. Now, last year I thought he was terrible with downfield accuracy. He was overthrowing people left and right. 100%. I have not seen that much this year. There's been a couple times where he's missed receivers, but he's missing them closer. So I don't know if that is improvement or not, but we're not seeing like 10-yard overthrows 50 yards down the field.
He's almost hitting the catch radius, right? He's almost there.
Yes. And so the catch radius is huge because I also don't know if we have receivers that have huge catch radiuses. Like everyone talked about Calvin Johnson, right? His catch radius was like 12 feet around him, which is ridiculous. Odunze, I'm guessing, probably has the biggest catch radius of any of our receivers.
It's probably him or Burden, because Burden is just a big dude for a receiver.
We haven't seen enough of Burden, though. So I know. We don't know.
But he is, on the season, I looked this up. He's 18 targets, 16 catches.
Throw the ball down.
And that's why I'm saying I need more. Give me more of that.
Zacchaeus let Burden carry the load. Yes. There we go. There's our, there's the saying for him.
There's the plea.
Trademark.
The plea. Yeah, Olamide Zacchaeus doesn't need 50 targets. He does not need 5 targets a game, for Christ's sake. Doesn't need it.
Yeah, he's been a safety blanket as well, like him and Odunze. But yeah, it was a good win. I'll take it. It was exciting. I think it's great for building confidence, especially going into the next several games where I don't know if I favor them in any of these games coming up.
Well,
maybe the Vikings and maybe the Browns. That's it.
Yeah. And so, they're 6-3. The next 3, they play at Minnesota. I think they have Pittsburgh at home, at Philadelphia.
Yep.
I still think they could beat the Vikings on the road. I don't think the Vikings are all that great. I think they're good, but I don't think they're great yet. So I think you can still get them. Same for Pittsburgh. I think we're seeing Aaron Rodgers finally on the downside. I know whatever it is, he gets up for the Bears. He owns the Bears. I know that's going to be the story of that week. I get that. If they could win those 2 and then just compete. I'm not saying they have to win, but make the Eagles game look like a legit competitive football game. Go 2-1. That would put them at 8-4. Then they got to play, I think, the Packers. I forget where, but
they're at the Packers.
Okay, so at the Packers, they're probably going to lose that game. Make it 8-5, and then
they're at then they had the Browns at home. That's another one they should
9-5 on
be able to win.
Long story short, I think there's a road to 10-7 and a possible wild card this year. I think they can get there. If they go 4-4 the rest of the way, and even if it doesn't equal a playoff spot, but I think it probably would. I think you have to be absolutely thrilled with that season.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm already happy. Just the fact that they've been competitive. That in half of the season, Ben Johnson has come in and completely changed the locker room.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's night and day. I mean, right now, you've got a confident Bears team who is really reeling on injuries on the defensive side of the ball. Like, they're hurt bad.
They are.
Right? And so the defense is not anywhere near at full strength. That they've gotten some timely turnovers, and Greg Olson, and I don't remember who the other commentator was yesterday, but they talk about the turnovers that they were getting in the wins versus the losses.
Yeah,
and up until yesterday, there weren't that many turnovers until the end of the game, when they had the fumble Jackson Dart going into the end zone, and then they could have had an interception in the end zone with Wright, but he dropped it in the end zone. Yeah,
another drop.
Yeah, it was a drop. Yeah, for sure. And so the turnovers, I think, have been masking a lot of the problems that they have on defense. I mean, they definitely missed Jalen Johnson. They've been missing the pass rush, all season long. Who do we have yesterday that came back? It was it Austin Booker?
Yeah, Austin Booker for his second game, his first start.
Mm-hmm. And so, does that help? I could tell you, I like CJ Gardner-Johnson. He's our best blitzer right now. He gets 2 sacks in his first game, 7 tackles, 2.
In 2 weeks, he's got 15 tackles, 3 sacks, which is now 3rd on the team, by the way, and a forced fumble. He's kind of injected a little life into that defense. And, we talked about, okay, is the guy who's known as kind of a douchebag going to fit in? Yeah. Obviously, he fits in pretty well. Imagine if he wasn't out there. Now, what's interesting is I think they have, who is it, Asante Samuel coming off back
he's making
surgery,
the rounds. Yeah.
Visiting them tomorrow. I'll tell you what, if I'm the Bears, I don't let him leave. I think he's another guy you pick up off the street, at least take a look at. I mean, maybe you find something, maybe you don't, but he's probably better than what they have.
Well, he's visiting the Niners, who is also being devastated by injuries. So It would surprise me if Asante Samuel is a free agent still on Friday.
Yeah,
I don't know when he's visiting the Bears or whatever, but I don't think he goes into this weekend without a team. Somebody will take a flyer on him, even if he's healthy. Great, he'll probably have some sort of interesting contract that is performance based with whatever his veteran minimums are and stuff like that. Right? But yeah, why not take a flyer if you've got room in your salary cap and you have a hole at DB somewhere? Let's see what happens.
He's only 26. It was good before, the injuries and stuff. I think it was a back injury that forced him to have surgery. I mean, the guy's medically cleared. He visits on Tuesday. I think if they take a look at him, but even if he's there only for a week or two before Kyler Gordon comes back, because I think Kyler was a 4-week IR, which means then they open the window for him to possibly come back, whatever. I'll tell you what, if they're able to put defensive secondary of Byard, CJ, Kyler, a potential healthy Samuel, and Tyreek Stevenson, I think you could live with that for now.
Depends on how good these players are. Like if they're like CJ has obviously been a real shot of adrenaline into the Bears defense. He's been very good. Let's see. Players got to make plays.
They do. I mean, you're also missing TJ Edwards still. Sewell was okay, not great. Sweat is he's up to 5.5 sacks. So 5.5 sacks in 9 games. Okay, that's better. But again, you want to see more because you're not getting it from anywhere else. There's nobody else on the defensive line that allows Sweat to not be double teamed. So
there's no one scary there. Right.
So they have to stop people, and they just seem to give up a ton of yards, man. And that's what's frustrating. So, I mean, Jackson Dart, to be honest.
That's that Lovie Smith, Ben, don't break defense.
Yeah, I mean, Dart picked them apart. He had 199 yards in the first half, and he had the 2 rushing touchdowns. I mean, in order for them to win, they had to freaking knock him out of the game. Now, I mean,
but they did.
They did. I think CJ Gardner-Johnson said I was tired of him running the ball. So, that's it. We did it. But, they're surviving, I think, a lot. I think, the record says they're winning, but I think they're surviving. And I want to see more. That's a good
point. I think that's a great description. They are surviving. They are not thriving.
No,
they're surviving. Yet. And I like that because, last year they would have been devoured in a bunch of these games.
Yeah, last year they would be dying instead of surviving, because if this scenario or these scenarios would have happened last year, or you had maybe last year's coaching or whatever, they could just as easily be 2-7 or 3-6 as opposed to 6-3 easily. So I think they're turning the corner, but there's still room to grow, a lot of room to grow.
Oh, for sure. So, yeah, they can get better still on really every phase of the team, and that's fine. So, like I said, this is the first year, new coaching regime. I'm already happy with where things are going, even just from a culture standpoint. The fact that they're winning games is kind of a bonus right now, because I thought they would still be losing some of this stuff. But
right,
what I didn't, and I don't recall it yesterday, is I didn't see a lot of offensive line issues, meaning he didn't get sacked. And I don't recall if there were any false starts or anything like that. There might have been. I just don't recall them. But it wasn't, if they weren't at like key times in the game like they have been the last few weeks.
No, I think Benedict had a hold at one point. But I mean, when are you going to get through a game without a holding called? Yeah. I mean, but I don't recall really anything else. And you're right. He did get sacked once, but there was defensive holding on the penalty. So that knocked that out. And that was early. That was early. So, I mean, now Caleb was running around a lot.
He was.
But what you're seeing out of him is he's able to, the guy's like a magician sometimes. The guy's escapes like no other, which is crazy. He's starting to realize when he needs to get rid of the football and not take a sack. I mean, he's only taken, I think it's 14 sacks in 9 games, which we asked for get down to 2 a game, and he's actually done better than that. So thank you, Caleb. You've improved. I want to see some more just 5-step drops, 7-step drops, plant the foot and just fire it as to where that initial read is supposed to go. Instead of him looking around, dancing around, I still think he's got a lot of happy feet, a lot of, oh, here we go. It's a lot of improvisation, like you said, instead of here's the play. This is what our goal is. Hit it. And that's it,
Get it here within 3 seconds.
Yes.
Bang, bang. That's really hard to defend. Now your receivers need to be there.
Yeah.
And that, and they need to win their battles, and they need to catch the ball, and the ball needs to be accurately thrown to them. But yeah, I want to see that West Coast, short passing game really start to come alive here, because that's going to help them from a completion percentage standpoint too.
Yes. Oh, 100%. That's why if you watch the Patriots, that's why Drake Bate's successful. He's hitting like 78% of his passes right now. And he's just surgically taking his team down the field every time. And that's why he's being talked about as a potential MVP. So, And
I want to see them run the ball more too. I want them to continue to run the ball well.
Agree.
That means, 25, 30 carries a game. Let's keep getting, Manungai more touches. Swift has been pretty decent the last few weeks. Again, since the bye week, for whatever reason, for the most part, their run game has kind of taken off. But I want to see them continue to do that smash mouth football, because that opens up so much more for them too.
Well, and that's what they started to do more in the fourth quarter, was run the football. I mean, when they were throwing it early. Working. Exactly, So, I mean, you're thinking, they're down by 2 scores. So what do they decide to do? They decide to run the football, which is kind of odd, but it's what worked. So I agree with you. I mean, if you're averaging better than 5 yards a carry, that stick with it, man. Absolutely.
Keep doing it until your average dips.
That's right.
I mean, 2 of those carries, you had a first down and you're in the end zone. Like, let's go.
Yeah, but hey, like you said, I mean, they're 6-3. It's an exciting watch. It's a little gut wrenching at times, but it's good to see them 6-3. And when you see them listed on the in the hunt list, is when it comes to playoffs, as long as the Bears are on that list, you have something to get excited about. So that's good.
Yeah, right now they're 7th, behind the Lions and ahead of the 49ers for that playoff spot. So they have a tiebreak because Detroit beat them earlier this year.
Right.
And I think because of win percentage, because Detroit has a later bye this year as well, I think. So the Niners have like 10 games played, I think. So they have a later bye too. Actually, no, the Niners have a later bye. So they've lost one more game. They looked bad yesterday, my poor Niners.
Yeah, if they could somehow split with the Vikings and the Packers. I don't know if they could split with the Lions, but if they could split with the Vikings and Packers, I think, they'll be in good shape.
I mean, you got Packers 5-2-1, Lions and Bears both 6-3, and then Minnesota 4-5.
Yeah.
What a difference a few weeks makes.
Yeah, no kidding. And I'm sorry, with the Vikings being 4-5, I know the game's in Minnesota, but
I think it's a winnable game right now.
I think it's a very winnable game. Absolutely. So
it depends on which JJ McCarthy shows up too.
It does. It does. And it depends on which Minnesota Vikings defense shows up as well. But it also depends on what Bears defense shows up. Are they good enough to stop JJ? And is Caleb good enough to get him through whatever it is against Minnesota? So I think it's a winnable game, but we thought Baltimore was a winnable game, and look what happened there. So we still don't necessarily know who this team is. We know who they can be, but we also know who they can be. If that makes sense.
But I think that's the 2025 NFL.
It is.
The teams that we thought were not going to be good, some of them are okay. Some of them are doing real well. And teams that we thought that we'd be good are stumbling here and there. Like the Bills losing to the Dolphins 30-13.
Bad. That was a bad
Did not look good at all. Bills didn't even score until the fourth quarter. So it was not what people expected. And the Bills are supposed to be an AFC favorite.
Well, yeah. And who would have thought Kansas City would have 4 losses right now? Who would have thought Baltimore would have 5 losses right now? Now, granted, the Lamar Jackson injury was part of it, but those are 3 perennial favorites in the AFC that are all struggling.
Who would have thought the Colts would be 8-2?
Right. The Colts are 8-2. I think Denver is 8-2. New England, I think, is what? Either 7-3, 8-2, 7-2, something like that. So
New England's 8-2. Yep.
Okay. So, you're looking at, are we seeing a changing of the guard in the AFC? Because both Denver and New England are second-year QBs, that same class as Caleb. And then
New England, maybe. They seem like they've got it figured out right now. And they've won 7 in a row. Drake May's playing well. Defense is playing well. Yeah, they're well coached with Rabel, up there. I don't know if you watched the Thursday night game with Las Vegas versus Denver. Holy shit, that game was boring.
Yeah, that was like Marcus Mariota football. Boring, vanilla, nothing. For a prime game, that was not a prime performance by either team. But no,
Denver won. They've won 7 in a row as well. So they're streaking. They're not winning pretty, but they're doing fine. They're protecting home. They're 5-0 at home. So that'll get you to the playoffs.
It's funny because if you look at Bo Nix's stats, his stats and Caleb Williams' stats are almost identical. Like they're within 10 yards passing of each other. Their completion percentage is 60.9 to 60.8. I think Nix has like 40 more completions, but he's got, 60 more attempts or something like that. So the numbers, the results are pretty similar. Their QB rating is pretty close. So,
and the difference is 2 wins, which Denver has a good defense.
Yeah, well, that's what I said. I'm like, the reason Denver's 8-2 versus the Bears being at 6-3 is defense. Yeah. Broncos defense is far and away better than the Bears defense. So the debate was, where do you rank the 6 QBs that were drafted in Caleb's class right now? We're talking.
I don't even know who those 6 were.
So Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, JJ McCarthy, Michael Penix, and Bo Nix.
I'm not going to rate Jaden Daniels because I think he's got an incomplete. He's hurt. He had a great last year, and this year hasn't been so great. So it's kind of 50-50. I don't think same thing for JJ McCarthy. He missed the entire first year, and he's missed half of this year. So who knows? It's hard to argue against Drake May on that list. He's done well. Who else was on that list? Drake May, Michael Penix
Jr., and Caleb.
Caleb. Caleb is probably still the best there. Bo Nix is on that list too, right?
Yes.
So I don't know. I think it would. I don't know what the stats look like, but I'm guessing that they're all pretty similar and that nobody's really separated.
May is
no, you're right. May probably he's been on a good run this year.
This is what I said. I said May is I think May is obviously at the top right now. I think because Daniels is injured, but I'll even say it before he was injured. I think he's regressed a little bit. Mm-hmm. Or maybe it's not regressed. Maybe it's kind of come back to earth, if that makes sense.
Yeah, he was so good last year.
He was.
But this year before he got hurt was not like he was last year.
It was it's kind of mid.
It's fine.
So so I said because he's hurt, I put Nix / Caleb at number 2. I put Daniels at 3, and then McCarthy and Penix are just kind of there. Penix, he's still working things out, and like you said, McCarthy's missed a year and a half, so it's kind of incomplete. But
I'm mostly with you. I think May for sure right now top of it, but I don't think Caleb was too far back. But I think Caleb is better than Bo. The stats might not be, they're I think you mentioned they're pretty consistent or pretty similar, but I think Caleb's a better athlete.
Oh, for sure.
And so I think he's got more room. He's got a higher ceiling. Let's put it that way.
I agree. I also asked the question of one Google Gemini, and they said, Google Gemini says Drake May, Jaden Daniels, and then Caleb Williams, and then Bo Nix. It doesn't even talk of the other two. So
not enough data to complete an analysis.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I could see that. I mean, Jaden Daniels was so good last year. He's got it in him. I mean, he was arguably the best quarterback in the conference last year. And, I don't know if that would have been possible to sustain, but I don't think he's anywhere close to what he was last year. But I still think he's good. And when he's fully healthy, he's definitely going to make that team a team to deal with, no doubt. So, but like you, I think Caleb Williams' ceiling is sky high, but there's a lot of things he has to improve to get there.
Well, that's why he was drafted that position too.
100%. I mean, he was drafted on potential, and does he have talent? Sure. Is he probably the best athlete of all the QBs? Probably pretty close. Him and Daniels are probably 1 and 1A as far as athleticism. But, as we talked about, college QBs don't always
hold on, I'm going to disagree. I think you've got to put Jaden Daniels way ahead of Caleb Williams for athleticism because his elbow bends in ways that Caleb's doesn't.
It's true.
The flexibility factor is there.
But I will put Caleb's intelligence a little bit higher because he doesn't put himself in a position to get nailed like that.
Is that his problem or is that the coach's problem?
I think it's some of both.
Yeah. Okay.
I think sometimes
I don't want to make jokes about it. It sucks, but that could very easily be Caleb Williams at any point. He got hobbled yesterday with a little bit of an ankle issue. It looks like. Yeah,
it could be any QB at any point, really. But I don't see Daniels all that often going down for a slide. He probably doesn't go down as often as he should.
But that's every young quarterback.
It is.
Look at Jackson Dart, right? He doesn't. Yeah. They were marveling at the fact that he slid. Well, yesterday.
I know. Yeah.
And then he gets concussed. Like, that's why you slide.
Well, because very rarely in college quarterbacks don't slide. They're like the running back who could throw a ball.
Right.
So that's why the college game is so different than the pros.
You don't get drafted for your sliding ability in college.
No. No. That's why they made it such a big deal on Hard Knocks that Caleb Williams had sliding practice.
Yep. What else about the NFL? I feel like there was a bunch of blowouts yesterday. The second half of yesterday's games, the Sunday afternoon slate, sucked if you like competitive football because they were all blown out. My gosh, Seattle was good.
Seattle is good. Jackson Smith and Jigba is good. Sam Darnold is proving to be not a one-year wonder, and he doesn't have to play for Kevin O'Connell, the quarterback guru, to be any good. Because, he's a something, and it's really cool to see. Because I know it's taken him a while to get a chance and perform. But he's
former Jet.
Former Jet,
redemption
former
story, but
Panther.
The fact that they were I had to do a double take. Does that say 38-7 at halftime? What the hell happened? And then I looked at, so I started looking at some of the highlights and stuff like that. Well, a lot of the defenders had 2 scoop and score fumble recoveries for a touchdown. it was just a massacre.
I was going to say, as good as Seattle is as bad as Arizona was, who's benched Kyler Murray. They're banking on Jacoby Brissett right now, which probably not a good game plan for anybody.
Hurt, right? In quotation marks.
Bull. Yeah, he might be hurt. Maybe his feelings are hurt because he's not playing. Like there was even talk of, well, he is only 28. Maybe he can go back to playing baseball.
Well, yeah, okay, but I heard that too. I was like, all right, but he's clearly better than Jacoby Brissett.
You wouldn't think so. I would hope so, but I don't think he's as hurt as people think. I think that may have been we got to try something else because this isn't working. And for some reason, the production for Marvin Harrison has gone up since Brissett took over. So
it's kind of like Flacco coming in and kind of reviving the passing offense for the Bengals.
That's right. Which, by the way, Joe Burrow was cleared to practice.
I saw that. So there was somebody last week that I was yelling at the TV for. Oh, they were talking about Joe Flacco. And they were calling him Joe Cool. The announcer was. I'm like, that's not his fucking nickname, dude. Like, there's already a Joe Cool in Cincinnati.
That's right.
Like, that's not how it works. Let me look at the other scores here. Oh, the Colts.
Colts.
Man, that running back there is just a stud, dude. What's his name? Jonathan Taylor. So good, man.
He's good. Daniel Jones is. I mean, he kind of had an off day. I mean, he was okay, but
got sacked 7 times. But
but the Colts keep rolling. I think Tyler Warren had a decent day for them at tight end. And I think it was against your squad, the Niners, but those Rams, man,
Stafford is having a great year.
It's his, I think, 17th year in the league. And I think he's probably playing his best football right now, which is nuts.
24-36, 280 yards and 4 touchdowns. Only got sacked once.
Yeah.
They had 2 running backs with double-digit carries. So they still ran the ball 30 times as a team. He's got Devontae Adams. He's got Puka Nacua. That he's throwing to.
I think he threw touchdowns to 3 different tight ends yesterday, I think. Which is crazy.
Colby Parkinson.
Tight end.
And Davis Allen.
Tight end?
No, two tight ends.
Okay.
And then Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams both had touchdowns.
Okay. Maybe it was last week. It's still, the guy spreads the ball around like no other. And I know Nacua is like their main guy, but Nacua went down. Devontae Adams kind of moved over to the 1. And, it just, the offense just keeps rolling. I mean, Sean McVay, I'm hoping Ben Johnson is like Sean McVay. That's what I hope. Because Sean McVay is a big offensive guru, young guy, all that stuff. And, that guy is going to coach in Los Angeles for, I think, as long as he wants to, which could be forever.
So which is funny because a couple of years ago, they were kind of almost ready to ride him out of town.
They were, but then they make the trade for Stafford. They get rid of Goff, and now, they win the Super Bowl, then basically blow up the team. And now they rebuilt it. They got rid of Cooper Kupp. No big deal. They got Nacua. I forget who their second receiver was. No big deal. Now they got Devontae Adams. I mean, they pick up guys, and the guys turn into great. Yeah. Kyron Williams. I'd never heard of Kyron Williams until last year. And, solid running back. And it just goes to show that running backs are a dime a dozen.
They're a commodity.
They really are. And we've talked about that. And, the Rams just keep rolling. I mean, their defense is good enough. But boy, can they play offensive football, man. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Which is unfortunate for the Niners yesterday is because Matt Jones quietly had a really good game. 33 of 39, 319 yards and 3 touchdowns. He had an interception, but that's a great game. I'll take that for my quarterback any day.
I'm telling you, I think he's quietly potentially having a Pro Bowl season. He's played really well, all things considered.
Yeah. Kind of hard to argue against it. Sitting 70% of his passes.
Yeah.
2,000 yards passing, 13 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Not a great ratio. 2-1, no, still it's fine. but he's coming off the bench.
Yeah, he's at 2,000 yards, and there was what? Purdy's played in 3 games. Is that right?
I'll have to look at the stats while we're talking here and see. But yeah, I mean, they gave Purdy like $200 million, and Purdy has 586 yards passing this year.
Right. So the San Francisco offense has 2,500 yards, and their backup is providing most of it. It's almost as if like Purdy got hurt and the team really hasn't skipped a beat. They have other injuries because the Niners always have injuries and other injuries, and I'm not even gonna say it, because if this guy gets hurt, then I think they're done. But
McCaffrey.
That's what I'm talking about. So I didn't want to jinx it. I'll knock on wood.
He's been healthy. He's their leading receiver, for yards. Yeah, he's their leading rusher on yards. He's their go machine for sure, but he's not averaging high yards per carry. He's only averaging 3.5 yards per carry this year. McCaffrey. He's a volume player.
Mm-hmm. I agree,
but yeah, I mean, Mac Jones, and I don't know if that's just he's in but a lot of people say that it's a quarterback friendly offense, and maybe that's true, but results are results. I would take 70% completion rates, 2,000 yards, and 2-to-1 touchdown ratio at the midpoint for sure.
I mean, the way Mac Jones is playing, you take him over probably a third of the starting quarterbacks in the league right now, maybe even more. So,
and he's their third leading rusher on the team too.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He's got 64 yards rushing on the season. So I guess that says how good or how healthy McCaffrey and Brian Robinson have been, because they're the only two that have triple-digit yards for rushing.
Well, the fact that McCaffrey stayed this healthy is kind of amazing, considering his track record. And it's great because when he's healthy, he's one of the better. I mean, he's one of the top 5 offensive players in football. He's that good. But
he's got 69 catches already for 692 yards.
That's crazy.
He has twice as many as the next person born with 31 catches.
No, well, there you go. So 69 catches, and then how many carries?
180 carries.
Okay, so the guy's almost at 250 touches already.
Yeah, and he's got 600 yards rushing, 700 yards receiving, and he's just a consistent output machine.
Yeah, so he's probably going to surpass, 2,400 total yards. He's probably going to have 1,000, close to 1,000 receiving yards, if not over 1,000. He's going to get over 1,000 rushing yards. I mean, that's what you wanted out of this guy. It's what you needed.
Yeah, it's too bad it's coming in a season where everybody is injured.
Yeah.
Another year. And I was thinking about this over the weekend when I saw another injury come out. I was like, when you're playing video game football, Madden, for example, one of the things that you can invest in is your training person.
Yeah, right.
Who helps, your injury ratings, and people come back from that. And I start to think about, it's like, are the Niners just not putting any money into their training
staff
and recovery, right? Their stats? Because, man, it's another year that they're probably going to lose because of so many key injuries to that team.
Yeah. And they play in a division that's almost just as tough as the Central. I mean,
it's
the Seahawks,
tough,
the Rams, what's the Niners record right now?
They're 6-4.
6-4, and they're probably a distant third between Seattle and the Rams right now. So,
well, I mean, just from a play perspective, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So,
I mean, Seattle's really good. Rams are good. I mean, it's a tough division, and they certainly missed their defense. They're only I think a game and a half. They've played one more game than both of those other teams, but yeah, they are hurting, like literally.
I think their team is very similar, probably to where the Bears are at. And a lot of Bears injuries on defense, Niners injuries on offense. It's going to be really interesting to see where the two teams are when they play each other, because I know it's late, and it's very possible that they could be playing for their playoff lives when they meet.
How crazy would that be that we get into, the end of the year, late December is when they play, December 28th.
So they're week 16? Yeah.
Yeah. And that both teams. Like it could be a meaningful game for the Bears.
Right.
Like that's crazy.
I hope so.
We've been playing for pride for the last decade, you know?
Yeah, it's been a long time since we played meaningful football into December. So,
yeah,
like I said, just want to be in the hunt.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. So,
all right. NFL was weird yesterday. It was just a bunch of teams coming back. And I think, was it Jacksonville with the huge comeback? Or no, they had the huge collapse against, what was it? Was it Houston?
Yeah, against
26 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that was a weird one. Yeah, that game ended 36-29 or something like that. Just very strange.
26 points in the fourth quarter for the Texans to come back.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember watching some of that on Red Zone, and I was like, oh my gosh. Like, again, the Texans, they've got a good team. They've got a good defense. Their record does not reflect they're 4-5. But again, their plus minus is totally opposite of that.
If you're Jacksonville, is it time to think about potential life after Trevor Lawrence?
I think you've been thinking about that for a couple of years now.
Yeah,
even though they gave him a bunch of money.
I know.
No, I don't think he's the answer at all.
I don't think so either.
I think he tops out as a mid quarterback on his good days. Now, he doesn't have a lot of weapons. He's got Etienne. What's his face? Travis Hunter's injured.
He's got Brian Thomas. I mean, he's got guys.
But how good is Brian? Where would Brian Thomas fit on another team? I don't think he's a number one wide receiver as a true number one.
On most teams, no, he's probably not. He had a really good rookie year. I mean, he went to LSU, but I think he was like the number two to, I forget who their number one was at the time, but he was good. But I don't think he was great. Had a really nice rookie year because I think he was like Trevor Lawrence's new toy. But I think then he kind of, balanced it all out with being average, Hunter being hurt. But I'm sorry, Trevor Lawrence you don't win because of him. And
no,
sometimes your quarterback has to be the guy. Luckily for the Bears, when Caleb is needed to be the guy, he's been the guy, which is for the most part, which is great. I don't see Trevor Lawrence being that guy. So, and I don't remember if he's still on his rookie deal or not. Or did they
gave him a bunch of money, I think. Yeah, I think they gave him a bunch of money to stick around a couple years ago.
No, that's too bad.
It is for them. I mean, I don't think he's very good, but I also don't think he's got a lot of weapons either.
No, and I feel like they've been bad for a long time.
Yeah.
I know they got a new coach, and brand new coach this year, so maybe, they kind of roll with that for a bit and see how that goes, but I don't know. We'll say this, they do have a kicker.
They do. They've got that one solved.
Yes. Yeah, anybody can bang it from 68 yards? Heck yeah. So
the other thing I want to talk about was the Jets. They won. They beat the Browns, but Justin Fields is not good.
No.
6-11, 54 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 7 carries, 28 yards. Like, he is not it, dude.
No, he's not. And
which sucks because I was really hoping that he would turn the corner and get away from the Bears.
This is so bad because yes, I wanted Fields to do well, but it also justifies what the Bears did was right by moving on from him. And I know that was a big debate, obviously, when, they had the number 1 pick and all that stuff. And it's always good to be validated, that they made that move. I feel bad for JF7, as I affectionately call him, but because he used to be JF1 here in Chicago. But I think we kind of knew that this was what he was going to be, unfortunately. And the Bears,
I thought he would be better at throwing the ball.
Bears got right. Maybe, but again,
but he's not.
He's not. College is different from the pros, man. I wonder if he could be like a gadget player. Like if you turn that guy into maybe like a wide receiver / we talk about this name, Darren Sproles type guy.
Yep.
I mean, Fields is an exceptional athlete. And when he's running with the football, he is very hard to catch and bring down. And if he was not necessarily having to play quarterback and could, beef up the padding a little bit and able to take hits and all that, I think he could help you. I really do. Like he could be like a better version of Taysom Hill.
That's what I was thinking, Taysom Hill, because I was like, all right, he's like, what was the Denver guy? That wasn't very good. Similar player. Like he wouldn't convert. He wanted to be a quarterback, but he was not going to be a quarterback. Tim Tebow should have been a tight end. Would have been awesome tight end. Yeah, but no, he was wanted to be a quarterback, and enjoy broadcasting. Justin Fields, yeah, I'm with you. Like, I'm not sure where he would fit though. Like, I don't think he's big enough to be a tight end. He's probably a wide receiver of some sort.
I think he'd be a receiver, most likely.
I think that's probably where he's definitely got speed, but man, is he not passing. He's got 1,100 yards passing this season.
Yeah. And if you're a brand new coach with the Jets, I don't know who else they have on the roster, but you can't live with that. You can't live with that long term, right?
Yeah. Well, maybe they go make a trade for like Jameis Winston or somebody like that. Bring him in, let him throw 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and be that kind of guy. But yeah, he's having a terrible year. 1,100 yards passing. He's got 6 touchdowns, 1 interception. That's really the only silver lining is that that touchdown interception rate is great, but he's not throwing the ball. He only has 113 completions on the season.
Yeah, that's not good, man.
And he's only got 316 yards rushing.
Again, not
what
good.
Are you doing out there? I mean, maybe he's just hanging off to Breece Hall, who has been good. I would still love to have Breece on my team, but he is Justin Fields is just, he ain't it.
Yeah, and now I think his top receiver, Garrett Wilson's out for the next 4 weeks or something.
Yeah, it's like I didn't see what the injury was, though, but yeah.
I don't know either, but is that... So are the Jets a place maybe where a Mac Jones winds up next year? I mean, I don't know what kind of contract he's on, but these QBs that, because obviously
the journeymans that have revived their career this year.
Purdy, or do they come calling for Kirk Cousins or whatever? I mean, you can Justin Fields, you can't live with that long term.
The Jets are in full rebuild mode. They traded a bunch of their players this week. I'm surprised that Breece Hall didn't move. I guess there was rumor that they were trying to get him and the defensive lineman to the Bears, but they were a package deal, and the Bears weren't willing to part with that, which I'm okay with. Like, I wouldn't want to overspend for that one,
right?
But they're clearly in need of like a full rebuild, and so if I'm a experienced quarterback who's been around the league, and I go to that team next year, let's say it's Mac Jones. Mm-hmm. He's not going to move the needle for that team.
No, probably not.
They get maybe 2 wins more? They're still a sub 500 team. They have too many holes to fill. So why would I go there as Mac Jones? If anything, if I'm the Niners, I'm looking at this, I'm like, oh shit, did we pay the wrong guy?
Well, that's the other problem. But I mean, they've already paid Purdy.
They already have. So,
or do they
maybe a team, maybe it's like, hey, yeah, let's move Purdy to the Jets.
Do they try and trade him? Yeah, exactly. Right. Well, would the Jets take on that kind of contract? I don't know.
With Jacksonville take Purdy. They're like, all right, let's move on from Trevor Lawrence, right? I think there's a market for a young, still good, and now you've got a Purdy with a chip on his shoulder because maybe he gets run out of town. I hope I'm wrong. I hope Purdy comes back, and I hope he is the quarterback that they paid him to be, because I am still a Niners fan. But Mac Jones's play makes it really hard to say, okay, when Purdy is healthy, he's coming back as the starter.
Yeah, or do the Jets next year call the Bears for Beijing? I mean, he's under contract.
Take him
through next year. Well,
get a good offer. I'll take it. Yeah, sure. He's available. What do you got?
You're gonna give up maybe a 4th or 5th round pick. Yeah, absolutely, sure.
Right.
But
yeah,
I mean, I think the Jets need a QB. I mean, we've talked about it. There are a lot of teams that need QBs, and there just aren't enough good NFL bona fide starters to fill every team. Some teams just don't have one, and they're not there. And looking at this year's college crop, there's a few, but I'll tell you right now, Arch Manning's not the best available. I'll tell you that. I know he's the big name, but I've watched enough Texas football to know that he's way too inconsistent to play in the NFL or to be any good. I think maybe if he got with the right coach, he'd probably be better, but he's not a slam dunk like his uncles were. So,
yeah. Well, there's no slam dunks in the NFL.
Not anymore. Not anymore. And I don't know if there ever were. So,
yeah. I mean, all the ones you think that are going to be good, the hit rate is still so low.
Yeah.
Especially the quarterback position. So, all right. Do you want to go to?
I think the Bears have a good one.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing that says that we have to make a change right now. Let's see what happens. Yeah. Like I said, I'm happy with where we're at right now. Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Here, I'm going to throw one last Bears. I'm going to throw one last Bears thing at you that we were talking about today, and it has to do with Caleb. I think already he's the best Bears quarterback we've had since Cutler. What do you think?
Oh, that's not a hard. You said nothing controversial there, Jason.
Thank you. I know it's not a high bar, but
also water is wet and it snowed in Chicago.
Okay. But that's a good thing because I think that's the minimum that we wanted, and now we can only go up from there. So, okay.
Yeah.
Now
I mean, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. I'll take it.
Yes.
But that is not that's not a hot take, I don't think.
I mean, our single season record holder for passing yards is Eric freaking Kramer, dude.
I know.
So,
hey, he's on pace right now for 4,100 yards passing.
He is. And I hope he gets there.
Yeah.
So, okay.
All right. I'm going to give you a dealer's choice, a fielder's choice if we go MLP. Do we want to talk baseball, basketball, or hockey?
Oh, man. Let's talk baseball because I think this is an interesting one.
Mm-hmm. Why baseball doing all them cheating?
Yeah.
Or gambling, I guess is probably the right. I guess it is cheating, but it's really more gambling than anything, right?
It's more gambling. So we had a couple weeks ago, we had the basketball gambling scandal, and now we've got one in baseball that has to do with pitches and throwing. I think it's intentional balls. Am I right on that?
Something like that. Yeah, it's like certain pitches for prop bets or something. I don't know. It seemed kind of like very out there.
So let's see. The one guy, Emmanuel Clase, who threw her pitches for the Cleveland Guardians, arguably the best closer in the game right now. And the other guy, I know his last name is Ortiz. I can't remember his first name.
Luis Ortiz.
So they've both been indicted, I believe, and I think Ortiz was arrested. I don't know if Clase's been arrested yet, but they've been investigated and found to be throwing intentional balls as opposed to strikes for prop bets and things like that. Long story short, from what I understand, if convicted of all the stuff that they're accused of, they could go sit in jail for 65 years.
Which a few $1,000s.
Which I think is crazy. Yeah, for what they did, I don't think that kind of crime warrants 65 years in jail. But it just goes to show, man, that I think these athletes, they just can't. In some cases, they just can't say no for whatever reason.
They can't. But you know what? The leagues embraced sports betting.
It sure did.
What did you think was going to happen?
I know that, what is it, baseball, and I think all the betting platforms reached some agreement today to limit some prop betting going forward. But yeah, I mean, you could bet on anything. You could bet on, pitches thrown, balls, strikes, outs, strikeouts in a game, hits, home runs, whatever. You can bet on all of it. So yeah, I think it's bad. I think sports are headed down a bad road right now in regards to gambling, and I don't know how you fix it. I don't know how you. Yeah,
they've already let the genie out of the bottle. It's too much money now.
Yeah, I agree, and And I'll admit, not nearly to the degree it's most. I'll admit I participate in it a little bit here and there. Yeah. Why? Because it's fun. But it does change the way you watch games. I'm not going to lie about that. But it's a dangerous road. And I mean, our first introduction to this was Pete Rose, obviously betting on his own team, and he claims he never bet on his team to lose. I don't believe that. I don't think anybody believes that. But it just shows how when you think games cannot be manipulated, they sure as hell can, easily.
They brought. I don't have any sympathy for the leagues because they brought this on themselves. Of course, it was going to happen. I'm surprised that we don't see more of this, frankly. And I'm sure it's taking place. And it wouldn't surprise me that we start to see a little bit of a pullback, but at some point it'll come back, and there'll be more people who get busted for this. I wonder if these are connected at all between the NBA and like the mafia thing that was happening, and then apparently this was in like Dominican Republic. Like, I wonder if there is. It would not shock me to be like, oh yeah, like this is a multi-sport thing, right? That's taking place. So why not? Like, it's just a thing that happens. And there's too much money in the sport or in betting for it to go away. So now you've got to figure out, well, how do you keep it fair? Because the second that any of these leagues becomes rigged, because there's already, the tinfoil hat crowd out there is, historically, that's like, oh, the games are rigged, blah, blah, blah. I don't think they are, but this certainly doesn't help that argument. And what happens if you get into a game that matters, a Super Bowl, a playoff game, something of consequence, and you find you come back and you find that's rigged?
Yeah. So it says, all right. So I brought up the story. It says Luis Ortiz is his name, and Emmanuel Clase are accused of taking bribes in order to help friends of theirs win prop bets.
They took several $1,000s in payoffs. Several thousand, which means I'm thinking less than 10. And they've thrown away their entire career and possibly their futures outside of baseball for 1 comma, maybe 4 digits.
Yeah. So Ortiz was arrested at the Boston airport by the FBI. And the only reason Clase was not arrested is he is not in the United States right now.
Smart. I'd stay out of the United States if I was him.
Right. But the bail for Ortiz is $500,000.
Yeah, but only has to put 10% of it up. So he's out. He's already out on bail. $50,000.
Yeah, $50,000. That's true. Yeah. I know. But still, it's a lot of money, man.
It is. Yeah.
So they're charged with wire fraud conspiracy, honest services wire fraud conspiracy, money laundering conspiracy, and conspiracy to influence sporting contests by bribery. The top charges carry potential punishment of up to 20 years, total of potential 65 years in jail. That's crazy.
It's ridiculous. That shows you where our priorities are as a nation. Let's throw the book at people if they cheat in sports, or if they do, weird things that causes one gambler to win money and another one to lose money. But, if we shoot up a school or do something of consequence, like, that's fine.
Yeah. So here's an example of what was found in the investigation. So one example cited in the indictment says Clase allegedly invited a bettor to a game against the Red Sox in April and spoke with him by phone just minutes before taking the mound. And 4 minutes later, the indictment said the bettor and his associates won $11,000 on a wager that Clase would toss a certain pitch slower than 98 miles an hour. And this shows you what an idiot this guy, Clase, is. He's making $4.5 million a year.
Right.
And he had a 5-year, $20 million deal, and now it is in the toilet, gone.
Yeah, he's done for several $1,000s. Good job.
Yeah, way to go, Emmanuel. Dumbass. There's your dumbass of the week, man.
Another dumbass of the week is both of these players. Yeah.
Yeah, they both blew it. So just stupid. But the almighty dollar, man. It just... it can make you do things that are bad.
Yeah, well, money
talks.
All right, so that's MLB. Do you want to go hockey or NBA?
Let's talk about your Bulls, man. First off, how is it with your NBA? What do they call it?
League Pass.
League Pass. Yeah, how's that?
It's okay. I definitely would not spend the money for the ad-free version because it's the same looping stuff that once you've seen it once, there's no reason to see it again. I've seen a whole lot of getting to know Josh Giddey and him experiencing snow. Like, okay, I only need to see that once, but it's like every time there's a commercial break, you've seen the exact same loops. I can tell you that the stadium stuff that's happening on like Stadium Cam or Arena Cam, while they're in a commercial is boring as shit. So not worth it. In fact, I would rather watch commercials than either of those things. Other than that, it's been fine. It is cool to be able to see, okay, let me turn on the Bulls and I can choose, which game cast I want to see. Is it the Bulls version or the other teams? Stacey King, I'm still not a fan. I just don't care for his color commentary.
Okay.
It just doesn't do it for me. But it's been fine. It's I think it was $150 for the entire season.
Yeah, you mentioned it was rather
for the ad free, so it's cheap comparatively, right? For the number of games you're getting, it's pretty cheap.
Right.
I would not spend $150. I would spend $120 or $130, whatever the ad free version is, and it's fine. If you're an NBA fan, especially if you're out of market, then definitely worth it. So it's been okay. I can tell you the Bulls record sucks ever since I subscribed to it. So I've watched, I think, 2.5 full games because they had most of last week off, or this last week. So I watched the game Friday against the Cavs. And before that was the game against the Knicks that they lost. And so they've actually, no, and I did see the one that they won at the last second, Vucevic's 3 at the last second.
I watched that one.
Yeah, so I watched that one. So they're 1-2 in the games I've seen. And I was watching against the Cavs, and so Josh Giddey is really good. I'm really enjoying watching him. He strikes me as a Pippen type player without the defense. He's getting rebounds, he's getting points, he's getting assists. So he's kind of all over the place. A little bit like a LeBron James, definitely not as good as LeBron, but he's showing up in the stat sheet like left and right.
Yeah, he's averaging 21.4 points, 9.6 rebounds, and 9.3 assists. So almost a triple double.
Almost a triple double. Yeah.
Still young guy, and I think Pippen's a great comparison. Obviously without the defense, but offensively, I think he's. Yeah, I think it was a very smart signing. He's like the Pippen without the Jordan, right? They don't have the 30-point a night guy yet, and we talked about how they've kind of had to do it by committee. They've got still 6 guys averaging 10 points or more, and they got a 7th guy at 9.9. They're 6-3. They're playing San Antonio right now, and I think they're up 1 at halftime. And San Antonio's 7-2. So it's not like they compete every night. I think the only one game they really just got flat out beat, I want to say, is the Knicks game in New York.
There were a couple times they kind of got it close, but they've also had to come back quite a bit. That game, what was the one where Vucevic won? Who'd they beat in that one? The last 3? Because they were losing for
they were down
47,
like 25. They were down
47
like
minutes and 57 seconds that entire game. Didn't take a lead like 3 seconds left.
Yeah, I don't remember who they played that game, but they came all the way back and just kept climbing back and back and back, and then Giddey went down the lane and then hit Vooch in the corner, and that was the only Vucevic 3-pointer that entire game, which is crazy.
Was that the 76ers or was that the Bucks? That was the 76ers. They won.
It was the Sixers. That's right. Yeah. But I mean, they're 6-3, which is good for 3rd in the East. So nobody's running away with the East. And look, the Bulls weren't expected to be this powerhouse team. They've lost to Milwaukee. They lost to, I think San Antonio's beat them once already, if I'm not mistaken. So they were predicted, again, to finish right around 500. And ultimately, that's probably where they'll be. But for right now, it's fun to watch. Josh Giddey's awesome. He's probably one of the better players to come along for them. All better all-around players that they've had in a while. So
he's entertaining to watch, but boy, did he get humbled last week. he got sent to the shadow realm with an ankle breaker, literally, against
he did.
The Cavs. It was DeAndre Hunter. You hear the term, break their ankles, by shaking the defender off you. Oh man, he went down and he literally hurt his ankle.
Yeah,
he was late. And I think he's missing the game tonight because of it.
He is. He's not playing. That was rough.
You never want to see your star player posterized in that method. Like, everyone gets dunked on, but I would say it's even rarer to get a straight up ankle break and to have a guy hit the ground. And I feel bad for Giddey because he got. That's all I could say.
That's a great way to put it. He got for sure. So yeah, unfortunately, that highlight's going to stick with him for a while, I think. But the other thing that's going on in this game, and I doubt he'll get there, but I also mentioned, we talked about Wembanyama and what a freak that guy is. What is he? 7'4"?
Yep. 7. I don't know. If he's 7'4" on a bad day, maybe. All I know is Kevin Durant comes up to his shoulder.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I said that maybe at some point this year, he might get the elusive quadruple double. It's only happened a couple times ever. At halftime right now, he's got 15 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 4 blocks. So not quite on pace, but it's pretty damn good. And 2 turnovers, and only 1 personal foul.
All right. Well, go Bulls, I guess.
Yeah, but the
fact that the Bulls are up by 1 right now is kind of amazing.
I know. Well, I mean, again, they spread it out. You got Trey Jones with 12, Herter with 9, Vooch with 8, Jalen Smith with 9, and they just spread the ball around, man. And again, Kobe White still has yet to see the floor this year. So.
Yeah, I don't know how Kobe White fits into this offense, though.
I don't know how he does either.
I mean, is this a situation getting good players and figure it out? I don't know if he messes up the chemistry or the balance that they've got going on. He's also smaller than the rest of their lineup.
He is.
I don't know. If he can shoot the 3, I'll take him because I'd love to see 3-point shooting, especially in this era of the league.
But they have guys who can do that. They have Herter. They have Buzelis. Vooch shoots 3s. Okoro shoots 3s. Io shoots 3s. They have guys who can shoot 3s. Patrick Williams shoots 3s. So it's not like if he brought the 3 ball into his game, it's not like it's something they're missing. Kobe White doesn't bring anything that they don't already have, in my opinion. So
right. We'll see what happens, I guess. I mean, at some point they're going to have to play him, so we'll find out. But I'm curious about the dynamic.
I think he's Zach LaVine without the height, personally. So ball hog is not afraid to shoot the ball, and no, it's not.
I don't think this team needs a ball hog.
No, they don't. That's
not their strength. Again, I don't know what their strategy is on offense. They're like running all over the place.
Yeah, they play better without one. So maybe that's the whole thing. So. But yeah, the Bulls are fun to watch. I hope that they continue to put up points. They put up a lot of points a game, and we'll see how far it can take them. Yep. Good on you for getting league pass. You can follow.
I feel like we're tempting. Yeah, well, I forgot they were playing tonight, but we've also been recording since they started this game. So maybe I'll flip it on after we're done.
True.
I feel like we're tempting fate because we've had a few different technical issues. Now I think my hotel internet is starting to be a pain in the ass on my side. So
I
don't know. I had Yeah. So I had one other thing, but I'm afraid to bring it up because it might take us too long, and the Marriott hotel Wi-Fi gods may not smile kindly. So maybe I'll save that for later. Sunday when I'm home.
Okay. Well, we can save that for later. There you go. There is one other sports team in town if you want to touch on that. So we talked about
let's try
the
hockey.
Blackhawks.
Let's see.
Yeah, let's try it. So
and
when we left,
yes, they were
about to embark. I believe it was on. Yeah. Well, if you want to cut it, we can cut it.
Yeah, let's save it because I have a feeling this is going to turn into a shit show on my side. So
okay,
we'll do that.
All right. Well, I don't want that to happen.
Well, we can talk about it. I'll be home on Sunday, and so I'll be back to fiber internet.
Okay. Hey, there you go. I'll stay tuned in on the phone and figure out why the hell my notifications are still coming in, even though I have them silenced. So I'll figure that out.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna call a spade and be done with this one for right now. I'm gonna put together the 6 or 8 different tracks we have for this conversation and turn this into an episode. And then I will talk to you on Sunday. And
yeah, I will. When we have a better connection, I do have news for you. So I totally forgot that I do have news for you. So then I'll get into it next.
And we can catch up. I just said the recording. I know it's already being a problem.
Yeah.
An abrupt end. So we'll call this part 1 and then to be continued in a couple days.
Sounds good.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
All right. See ya.